Ghoul is a 2015 found footage film directed by Petra Jákla, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is a Ukrainian English production, and it is horror, thriller, and kind of mockumentary style, but mostly like 99% I would say it's found footage. Now, basically, this is based on an incident that happened around 1932 or 1934, around there in Ukraine, where apparently there was this true event where this very corrupt, totalitarian kind of leader in Ukraine purposely starved the country, or at least a massive portion of it, to the point where people were just losing their minds and began to resort to cannibalism, essentially. So that's the true story. This film is based around that incident, but it plays more so on the ghosts and the spirits that three Americans try to contact, and they're making a documentary on this incident, and they're trying to interview people who either knew people back then. They come across this woman, Ina, I believe her name is, and she is a witch essentially, but more so of like a medium. She's able to contact the dead kind of thing. They basically run into some pretty sketchy people, in my opinion, and they have a translator with them, or an interpreter, and they use this interpreter to interview these people, and eventually they go to this cabin, or at least this remote home kind of thing, where they're kind of doing the base of their documentary. And this is where everything is conjured up, and this woman named Ina is conjuring everything. She claims that, they have to stay in this location, they can't leave or anything. Eventually, really terrible spirits and entities start to surface, obviously, and a lot of chaos ensues, and things get really creepy, essentially. The most I heard about this film, it's on Tubi, by the way, free, and I got into a little bit of a found footage kick, so I decided to double feature this with Butterfly Kisses, and I reviewed Butterfly Kisses already. It's on the channel if you want to check it out. And this is my second feature, Ghoul. I only heard pretty negative things on YouTube about this film. I still went in blind because I kind of avoided the pretense or the plot kind of thing. But I got a little vague basic gist. I checked out some spoiler free stuff. But pretty much everybody was saying that this film was pretty trash. And I still decided to check it out for myself. And I mean, I don't really like how this film didn't touch barely at all on the true stuff that actually happened back in the day, because this film could have done a lot more than that. And they kind of use it as just a stepping stone or a platform to create their own thing, because it really has nothing to do with the incident at all. It's just your typical evil spirit, evil entity kind of film. Now, with the positives, though, it does get creepy. Like, when it wants to get creepy, this film gets really creepy. There's extremely unsettling imagery. It is very tense. You do feel for the characters. You may not like all the characters, and some of them are kind of bland, some of them are kind of annoying, but you do feel the sense of danger, and you do feel the terror of what they're going through, especially the claustrophobia, because they can't leave or anything. And there's, of course, the language barrier, and they do have the interpreter, but the whole culture shock and everything is so different. The medium, the way what she believes and everything, the people making the documentary don't necessarily believe, and they think it's all bullshit. But the medium is she knows this is real. Like, she knows that what she's messing with and what these kids are putting themselves into. But she's like, you put yourselves in here, and there's possessions that go on and stuff like that. So the film does get creepy, and it is well produced, and I do like the horror of it, but it could have gone further with what it's based on, because what it's based on is, tragic. It feels a little bit exploitive, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at as well, because they're dealing with something that is so horrendous and actually did happen in history, and they don't really touch on it at all. They just kind of really rush through it and don't give it the merit that it kind of deserves, the attention that it deserves. And they're kind of using it just to their own benefit to do your typical possession kind of horror flick. In the third act as well, things start to get really tropey as well. And I'd say in the last 5 minutes, you're definitely seeing things that you've seen in other films, and they're definitely going through territory that been there, done that kind of thing. That being said, though, it's done really well, and I do like how it ends, and I think everything is super creepy and super effective. This film is effective for what it's giving you. It's just not doing anything spectacular that you haven't seen before, essentially. But I do like the setting, I do like the Ukrainian stuff, I do like all the actors. I think all the performances are really well done for the material. Everything's believable. You really believe what these kids, or not really kids, but this crew is going through, and you believe the foreigners, the Ukrainians, and everybody does their part well. Essentially, I really liked Ina's performance. Ina, she has range because she's quiet sometimes, but then she goes all maniacal when she's possessed and everything, and she has like a big range between her character and how she's acting, kind of thing. So she did a really good job, and everybody else did a pretty good job too. So nothing to write home about. Nothing, nothing that's unique or anything like that. But it does deliver a good job in what it does, and it is worth seeing in my opinion. This one got a 2.5 from me, and it's free on Tubi to watch. If I found this on physical media, I absolutely would buy it, and it was worth seeing for me. So if it sounds up your alley, if you like found footage, I wouldn't miss this one personally. It's a thumbs up from me, essentially. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.